Welcome to Excel tutorial. I have created tons of Google Sheet and Excel templates for productivity, project management, personal finance and many more. You can visit my website plrduck.com and then download the templates. Today, I'll show you how I have created my net worth tracker. The net worth tracker is available for both Google Sheets and Excel. So here is a net worth tracker. So you can see the net worth tracker completely over here with the dashboard at the top. With the help of the net worth tracker spreadsheet, we can track our net worth for the complete year. So it comes with fully customizable. We can try to add our assets and liabilities according to our need. My net worth dashboard will look like this. So we have some key pointers over here. And then we have the total asset, liabilities and the net worth for the complete year. What is at the starting and what is the growth at the end we have. And then we also have some graphs. Then we have our asset overview. So there are different assets like cash and bank accounts, properties, investment and other assets where I have entered the value for the complete year. And then we have the liabilities overview. So where we have long-term debt, short-term debt and then other liabilities. Now I'll teach you how we can create this template from scratch. Let's get started. First, let me name the sheet as net worth tracker. So then we'll have the title over here as net worth tracker. So I'll just select these cells and then I'll say merge center and let me fill this color. Here let me say net worth tracker. I'll increase the size and make it bold. Now let me increase the width of the B column and I'll give some space at the top for the dashboard and I'll come down. Here I'll say as assets overview and here let's have the start and I'll have for all the months. So Jan to December. So I'll use the flash fill and then completely fill it. And at the last, we'll have the growth. So I'll make this bold and then the assets overview also. I'll make this bold and then give a background color for this. Also, I'll completely center align this one. So now I'll try to list down all the assets over here. So we can have different category of assets like cash and bank accounts and properties, investments and other assets. So first, let's talk about the cash and bank accounts. So I'll say cash and bank accounts. Here I can say the cash and bank account assets. So I'll say bank account 1 and then I'll say bank account 2. Let me say I'm going to have 3 bank accounts. So I'll display all the 3 bank accounts and then we can have some amount on a paper wallet. So I'll say that I'll say cash at hand. So these are some of the cash and bank account asset. I'll try to fill color for the cash and bank account and make this bold. I'll completely select this area and then make it center align. So let me say in the first bank account, while the start of the year, I'm going to have $9,000 and then on the second bank account, let's say 4,000 and on the third bank account, 2,500 and let's say in cash, I have $1,200 and on the PayPal wallet, let's say $700. So this is going to be at the start of the year. So all these are going to be in the currency format. So I'll just select this completely and then make it as currency. So we've got it over here. Now I'll try to go and update the values for some months. Let's say at the end of January month, how much is going to be my balance? So let's keep it at $5,600. So in February, it's going to be $11,000. Let's keep it like this. And then similarly, I'll update for the other bank accounts also. So now I have entered for the 2 months. So next we can go for the next category of assets. Like let's consider the properties. This is going to be a category. So I'll just highlight this and then make this bold. We can have different properties like car, residence, office and many more. Let's keep it simple. So I'll say residence and then I'll say car, and then I'm going to say I'm going to have some empty land. So the starting, what is going to be the value of this property? So the start of the year, let's say the value of the residence is going to be $2 lakh, and then the car is going to be $54,000, and land, let's say $40,000. And in the January month, whether it's going to increase or decrease, we can just mention. So let me say it's going to be $2,100,000, and then the car, let's keep it the same, and then the land also, let's keep it the same. So at February, we'll just copy the same thing and then paste it over. So all these things are nothing but it should be of currency. So I have changed the formatting to currency. Next, we can have the third assets. It can be investments. I'll make this entire row bold, and also I'll fill in with the color. So I can have different investments on crypto, stocks, and many more. Let's keep it stocks and crypto. So on stocks, let's say at the start of the year, it's going to be $53,000, and crypto, let's keep it $3,000. During January month, there's a little increase in the stock price. So 3,200, I'll keep it for the crypto. And similarly for February month also, I'll try to keep it $3,300. So I'll change this to currency. So at the end, we'll have the other assets. I'll make this entire row bold, and then I'll fill in the color. Your other assets can include anything like your trademark, copyright, any other asset, whatever you want, we can have it here. So let me say copyright, and I'll say that as 2,800, and it's going to be at the start, and January, let me say 2,700, and next month it's going to be 2,950. So like this, we can have some other asset. I'll just say assets 1. Like this, we can have some other assets as well over here. Then I'll also make this to US dollars. So next, we need to find the total of these assets. What is going to be the total cash in bank account asset? So I'll say is equal to, and then I'll say sum. I need a sum of all the cash and bank account assets. So I'll just close the brackets, and then when I press enter, you can see this is going to be the total asset. So here I'll just drag and fill it over here. So I can even fill it for the complete year as well. Similarly, let me come for the properties. So I'll say properties is equal to sum, and then I'll say from residence to land, I'll just select the cells, and then I'll press enter. So here also, we'll flash fill the formula for all the months till December. So now I'll come to the investments. So here I'll say is equal to sum, open the brackets, and then I'll find the sum. I'll try to flash fill for the entire year. Similarly, we'll do for the other assets as well. So is equal to sum, and then we can just sum of all the other assets. So we can flash fill the same for the complete year. So next is we need to find the growth factor over here. Let's say in my first bank account, so the starting I'm having $9,000, then it's going to be 5,600, then 11,000. Like this, it's just going to increase, and then let me say it's going to be $14,500. So now what I need to do over here is that the growth is nothing but the whatever is going to be at the December. So I will say equal to 042 minus, I'll say the starting value. So at the starting, whatever value I had, I just need to subtract that. So now when I subtract that, you can say I'm getting the value as 5,500. So this is going to be the growth of my first bank account for that particular year. So similarly here also, I'll just say is equal to sum, and then I'll sum up all the growth factors over here. So I can see currently the growth is only 5,500 because I have entered the details for only one bank note. If I entered it for completely, so the growth, we will be able to see the growth over here. So asset overview is nothing but I need to find the sum of all the assets. So here I'll say is equal to, and then first it's going to be C41 plus it's going to be the properties. So that's nothing but C47 plus the investment C51 plus, and the last one is the other asset. So it's C54. So now when I press enter, you can see this is going to be my asset overview at the start of the year. So similarly, I can just try to fill in this completely. Okay, so this is going to be my asset. So now we'll go to the liabilities table. So here I'll say liabilities overview. And then there can be different liabilities, like we can have long-term debt, short-term debt. So first, let's say long-term debt. And we can have like mortgage, money owned, and let's say we have a car loan. So these can be some of the long-term liabilities. So here I'll highlight this, and long-term also we need to highlight it. I'll make these two bold. So these can be some of the long-term debt. So here at the start, we need to say what is going to be the values. So let me say it's going to be $1,000, and then money owned, I can say some $4,500, and then the car loan is going to be $1,200. So similarly, it's going to be at the start. So let's say this for the January month and the February month. These are some of the long-term debt we have, and I'll convert this to the currency format. So next, I'll say short-term debt. So I'll highlight this as well. So I'll make it bold, and then I'll have the background color. So here in short-term debt, we can have personal loan, so credit card payment, and student loan, and other short-term debt we can have. So I'll just say this as 5,500. So credit card payment, let's keep it as 2,400, and student loan, let's say it as 1,800. So similarly, we can fill in these details for all the months. So next, we'll have the other liabilities. So I'll highlight this. Other liabilities can include income tax, accounts payable, and many other things. So I'll just say income tax and accounts payable 3,400. Now we'll calculate the long-term debt. So I'll say is equal to sum, and then here I'll just find the sum of these values, and I'll flash fill this completely and also make this bold. Similarly, we want for short-term debt, I can say is equal to sum. I will just select these three cells, and then when I press enter, so this is going to be the short-term debt. So similarly, I'll do the flash fill for this. Then similarly, let me do for other liabilities. So I'll say sum. So these two cells I'll select, and then I'll say flash fill. So now I want to calculate the total liabilities. I'll say is equal to, so it's nothing but it's going to be equal to the long-term debt. That's nothing but C64 plus C68 plus and C72. So this is going to be the liabilities overview. So I'll flash fill this formula as well for the complete row, and then make this bold. So now we have our complete asset overview and liabilities overview. Now we'll go and create the dashboard. Now let's have our key pointers at the top of the dashboard. So I'll just combine, merge and center these two cells, and then here I'll say your net worth goal. So we can fix a goal for that particular year. So this is going to be the net worth goal, and then I'll combine these three cells. So here, let me say the goal is going to be $3 lakh. I'll increase the size of this and center line and make it bold as well as, so this is going to be the US dollar format. I'll also go and add the background color for this. Similarly here, I'll create another key pointer. So I'll say your net worth, and I'll combine these three cells. I'll just try to increase the size of this and I'll make it bold, and then I'll fill the color over. So next, I'll have another key pointer. So here, merge and center, and then I'll say amount exceeding your goal. I'll combine these three cells. So next, let's create a table over here. So I'll say month. So I'll have the total assets. Here I'll have the total liabilities. And then let me have the net worth over here. So these two cells, I'll just try to merge across and then combine these two things. So here I'll make it bold, little bit increase the size of this and adjust over here. First, we'll have it for the start, and then we'll have it for all the months. So I'll do flash fill and then fill all the months. So at the end, I'll have the growth. Now let me try to add the background color for this. And let me center line this, and also I'll make this complete column bold. So to fill in the values over here, we'll be using the formulas. So I'll say is equal to index, and then I'll open the bracket. So here I'll be using the index formula. So first, I'll select what values we need to have at the total asset. So that's nothing but our asset overview. So I'll completely select this array, and then I'll give comma. So here next, I'm going to use another one formula, so which is used to match the columns. So which value I need to look up? So I need to first look up for the start, and then I need to look up for the array. So where this start is actually present from this table. So I'll select the lookup array completely over here. So this is the lookup array from C39 to P39. So this is the lookup array. So here from start to growth I have selected, and then I'll give a comma. So here we need to have the match type, whether it's going to be an exact match, less than or greater than. So we need the exact match. So I'll give 0. So then I'll close the bracket. So there are two brackets. So I'll press enter. So we'll get the exact match over here. So here what I need to do is I actually need to do some absolute formatting. So here the C40 to P40 is going to be fixed for the complete column, and this array is also going to be completely fixed. So here what I'll do is I'll say I'll just add dollar symbol before the row and column. So similarly here also I'll add the dollar symbol before row and column. So now I'll come, only the lookup value will change. So it's B20, B21, like this, it will automatically change. So here I'll add the dollar symbol, and here also let me add the dollar symbol. So now when I press enter, I'll get this. So similarly, when I try to drag it, it will automatically flash fill for the complete row. So now we'll come to the liabilities. So here also I'm going to use the index function. So I'll say I'll open index, and then I need to select the liabilities overview. So I'll completely select till growth. So now I'll give comma. So here I need to match that. I need to match that with the lookup value. So the lookup value is going to be start, comma. So the lookup array is going to be the same. So here we have the array, right? So it's going to be the same array. So I'll select this array, and then I'll give 0. It should be an exact match. So here also I will add the absolute referencing. So I will add the dollar symbol before both the arrays. So now when I enter, I'll get the liabilities. So similarly, I'll try to drag it completely. So this completely of the US dollar formatting. So next, we need to calculate our net worth. So net worth is nothing but it's going to be our total asset minus the total liabilities. So this is going to be the formula. So I'll just drag it completely over here. So this is going to be the net worth formula. Now we have the table for the complete year from start to growth. We have the total asset, total liabilities, and net worth. So here we can have what is going to be a total net worth, your total growth, and then an amount exceeding your goal from these tables. Now we'll go and try to create graphs for this dashboard. So let's first try to create a total asset versus total liabilities graph. So I'll first go and select this complete row, and then I'll also select this complete row. So I'll go to insert, and then I'll go to 2D line chart. So here I'll have the area chart over here. I'll go and change the chart to total asset versus total liabilities. So also I can go and change the fill color to our theme colors. So this is the total liability versus total asset chart. We'll go and create the next graph for net worth. So I'll select the net worth, and then I'll say insert, I'll go to 2D, and then I'll say 2D chart over here. So this is how our net worth chart will look like. I'll go change the fill color to this color. So this is how our net worth chart will look like. So you can see there is a little bit increase in the net worth for the first 2 months. So if you try to enter the complete data, you'll be able to see the complete net worth graph. So next, let's try to create the asset distribution chart. So now I'm trying to do this for the starting of the year. So first I'll select the cash and bank account, and then properties, and then investment and other assets. So I'll try to select this, and then I'll go insert a donut chart. So here you can see the asset distribution chart. So I'll name the title as asset distribution, and I'll also change this to a color theme. So this is how our asset distribution is there. So from this we can see properties hold a large amount of assets. So actually you can do this for the growth at the end of the year. So since I have not filled the complete table, so that's why I'm just doing it for the starting of the year and then showing you. Similarly, we'll try to do it for liabilities distribution. So I'll first select long-term debt, short-term, and other liabilities. So I'll go and then insert a donut chart. So here is our chart. So I'll just go and keep it at the top on our dashboard. So I'll name this as liabilities distribution, and I'll also change the color theme according to our Now let me try to calculate the other key pointers, and then let's try to enter the values. So first, let's go and try to calculate our net worth. I'll say equal to if error, and I'll open the brackets. So here I need to look up the value from this table. So here I'll use the lookup function, and then I'll say the value is going to be 1. And here I'll first select this complete lookup vector till December. So I'll say divided by, so the same I'll select again, comma, I'll give the result vector is also going to be the same. So I'll just select this, and then I'll close the brackets. So after that I'll give comma 0. So if it's going to be an error, we'll say 0, and I'll close the brackets. So now we'll get our net worth. So you can see I'm getting the net worth as $14,500. That's because, so the December, the value is only $14,500. So if we fill in the liabilities and asset table completely, it will automatically be different. So next is nothing but it's going to be the total growth. So total growth is nothing but at the last whatever we are going to have over here. So this is our total growth. So here I'll say is equal to, and then I'll say this cell. So F33. So this is going to be our total growth. Now we have our amount exceeding your goal. So to calculate this, it's nothing but it's going to be my net worth minus the goal, how much ever I have set up the goal. When I enter, I'm getting it inside the brackets. So it specifies that it's nothing but it's negative value. So since my net worth is less, that's why I'm getting it low. So if you try to fill in our table completely, then we'll get it in the positive. So here is how we can create a net worth tracker completely with the tables asset overview and liabilities table, as well as with the complete graphs over here. So if you're looking to download this template, I have given the link in the description. You can try to go and download this template. I have also created many Excel and Google Sheet template to track your personal finance. So here you can visit my website and then see all these templates. So all these templates comes with commercial rights and master resale rights. You can try to edit as per your wish and then share it to as many people you like. I have given my website link on the description. Please go and check it out. Thanks for watching this tutorial. I'll see you in another Excel or Google Sheets tutorial.